We are back with the Buffalonian podcast. I'm Joe Cali. As always, I'm joined by none other than Dom Loss. And Dom, it's been a minute. We took a little bit of a hiatus, and a lot happened within that gap. The Olympics, coach change for the Bills, the Sabres just continue to roll throughout. And they had a couple weeks off, so hopefully, we're recording on the night they're back in action, so hopefully we bring some good vibes. Normally when we lead off with them or hockey, it's good. We're going to do that again today. So why not? Let's just start with the Olympics. Team USA wins the gold medal in men's and women's hockey. Canada got to be in a rough spot right now. Rough spot. And I don't mean to go after the Canadian brethren right off the top, okay? I don't. But at the same time, you can't be in good spirits. Like, that's your sport. Am I wrong? Like, that was Canada's thing. That would be, what would that be like? That'd be like if the U.S. suddenly took over cricket. Like, that'd be like, whoa, that was not ours and we've grasped it. Or Canada taking over baseball, or the CFL trumping the NFL. Like, I don't know. It's just like, what do you think? How do you think Canada's feeling right now? I know not great from every clip I've seen, but I don't know. It's an interesting feeling.
Yeah, I think it's a unique feeling because it's never happened in our lifetime. The United States has never won the gold medal in men's ice hockey. Before this, only 37 men have ever won the Olympic gold for men's hockey in the United States history. So it's a pretty cool feat. I like the way you put it. It's like, it just feels a little weird. It felt a little weird about an hour after. It's like, wow, we really won the gold medal.
Yeah.
And, this is kind of, what it felt a little bit like, to be honest. It felt a little bit like, how they've been talking about the U.S. men's soccer team. This has been their golden generation or whatever. This is the most talent we've ever had, and they've underachieved. And
yeah,
we haven't won anything. It felt a little bit like a crossroads moment here for U.S. men's hockey, right? That all the momentum from 2010 and 2014, and obviously they had the hiatus, but like a lot of youth growing up watched those Olympics, and the U.S. had some pretty decent results, and you felt like there was some momentum, and this was kind of like the golden era, right? You have Austin Matthews and Jack Eichel as your top two centermen. You have arguably the best goaltender in the world in Connor Hellebuyck.
Arguably, he kind of proved that he might be.
Well, what I'm saying? But it's funny. Yeah. It's like, this is the golden era. And at the time, before that overtime, you're like, wow, like, if they lose to Canada, and they got dominated.
They did. It was definitely
surprising. Were you surprised that they got dominated as much as they did?
No. I thought
really
in the roster construction phase of all of this, leaving Jason Robertson off and guys like that, right? It was the Miracle on Ice has ruined USA hockey because they just, they want to be the underdog in the fight. They want to win on grit, all that stuff. Like, I kind of expect Canada built a roster. Like, that was stacked. If they had Sidney Crosby, like, I know that's literally been the entire talk after Canada lost was, oh my God, if Crosby was in the game, that would be so different. But they had, like, McDavid, they have a stacked roster. So they weren't anything to scoff at. And I think the U.S., the Miracle on Ice, this was not a miracle. Maybe in its own case, it might be somewhat of one, a minuscule one. But this definitely felt like, we might play them 9 times. They might beat us 9 times out of 10, but not today. Like that felt, you play Canada 10 times, they might win 9. Like, that's how that game looked, especially in the second and third period. It was domination. It was bad.
Well,
it was basically the goalie standing on his head for 40 minutes.
Okay. I guess if you're going to tell me the game goes like that 10 times, then sure. I was surprised from the perspective of the 4 nations the year before.
Okay.
First off, the U.S. dominated the first game pretty much and won like 3-1. And then the second game was a really competitive game and Canada won overtime. So I was a little, in the first period, I thought the U.S., I think they might have got outshot, but I thought the U.S. were better in the first period than Canada. The last 40 minutes, they just got, they're holding on for dear life. So I was surprised by that because I was like, wow, this is like really uncompetitive. Like, Canada looked a little way more vulnerable than the U.S. did throughout the entire Olympics, right? They went to overtime with Czech. They were down 2-0 to Finland. And they go to, won that game late. The only time the U.S. were really tested was Sweden, right? And that's because they scored the goal late and then they ended up winning in overtime. Anyways, like I was a little surprised that the U.S. were getting as destroyed as they were, but Hellebuyck, I mean, that was the question mark, right? Everybody knows on paper that Connor Hellebuyck was a difference maker potentially for the U.S. over Jordan Binnington. That was like the a big advantage the U.S. had going in. However, Hellebuyck, kind of a known guy to kind of choke in the big moments in the playoffs, and Binnington, kind of a guy that's kind of inconsistent, but in the big moments kind of steps up. So it's you're kind of questioning, like, is this really an advantage? Because Binnington usually comes through and Hellebuyck doesn't. So even if it, like, over a larger sample size, you rather have Hellebuyck, like maybe actually in a one-game scenario, you would rather have Binnington in the pressure moment. But Hellebuyck,
I mean, you can't ask for a better performance. It was unbelievable.
I mean, he's the greatest. He's now cemented himself, I think, and he has a little bit left to go in his career as the greatest goaltender in the United States history. Like, past Ryan Miller, past Jonathan Quick. Like, I'm sorry, you can't have a moment like that. Also, sidebar, how dumb is it that they vote on the MVP of the tournament after the first period of the gold medal game?
I was hoping we'd get to this because this is unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Unbelievable. That'd be like MVP after week 3 of the NFL season. Like, what? Like, what sample size do you have at that point?
That'd be like saying MVP of the Super Bowl at halftime. Like, come on, guys.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing here? That was ridiculous. And also, I gotta say, I thought the broadcast team was awesome. The broadcast, though, left a lot to be desired because that Jack Quinn, I thought he shot that puck wide.
I'm sorry.
Hughes? Like, oh, Jack Quinn, Jesus.
See, everybody's doing that because of Jack and then Quinn Hughes. They were combining it into Jack Quinn.
Jack Hughes shot it, and I thought he turned around because he was like, "Oh, I had to get my butt back on defense. I just missed the net." And it's like, "Oh, he scores!" I'm like, "Oh my God, what? Where?"
Exactly. So you weren't there, unfortunately, because you were under the weather. But we were with our friends watching the game, and we all hesitated. Logan and I, we were just like, "Did that go in? That looked like it went wide." And then all of a sudden, everybody starts celebrating. We're like, "Oh my God, they're champions!" That's it. So, yeah, that broadcast, the one thing I do like about the Olympic broadcast is not as many TV timeouts. So that kind of, it flows a lot more. But you're right. There were a lot of places, I would say.
They just didn't go to commercial.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how, the ad and how they do that.
I mean, they're probably, NBC and the Olympics are probably different than the NHL, look the league, I guess,
Sure.
So the Olympics are probably sponsored up the wazoo. They don't need TV timeouts or the commercial breaks. But
they had stoppages, but they didn't have,
it was just, the broadcast, you're right. Commentary was good. That wasn't great. And also, the replays got quite annoying in certain areas, like throughout. Like, there were just a lot of them, I feel like, Well,
I mean, if I had to hear that TJ Oshie scored 6 goals in a shootout in a preliminary round against Russia one more time. Oh, my God. Talk about milking the moment.
I know.
Hey, TJ, what place did you guys finish in the Olympics? Oh, yeah, 4th. Like, oh, my God, you didn't even medal. Like, relax. I mean, it was a cool moment, but it's that got overblown. And I'm sorry, the miracle thing, a little much, man.
Now it can get put to bed a little bit, though, right? You can kind of move on from that a little bit. And that's what, I forget who it was on the broadcast said. Like, can Team USA police win so they stop bothering us? Like, that. I mean, they feel the same way. They probably, like, that was so long ago. So long ago. It's only right that there's a more modern, like, twist on that
example.
Now. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying enough's enough because believe me, that movie when I'm blanking on the actor's name now. Kurt Russell's given that speech. I mean,
awesome.
I can't not get hyped up after that, and the music in the background, everything about it, and like the event in itself is amazing. But like that was all we had for a while. Like, and then all of a sudden, Sidney Crosby shuts down Ryan Miller in a big moment the next time, and it's just like, now finally they're champions, and you don't have to reference the Miracle on Ice as the last time that's happened. So everyone, what do you think? I've seen this take floating around. The Soviets not being involved. Does that take anything away from you? Yeah, well, former Soviets, the Russians. The Russians not being involved. Does that put an asterisk up against this or no? I don't think so. I think,
No. It would have if they didn't play Canada. Like, if they just played Sweden.
That was the big thing.
And if they only played Finland, they avoided Canada. it would have been. I might have felt different because you could make a case that Russia was as good as Finland and Sweden. I think Canada is better than Russia, so I don't think it takes anything away. It's a valid question because Russia has Vasilevsky and Shesterkin and Saron. So like they have three three of the best 5 goaltenders in the world. So
yeah,
and their offense have been crazy. Their defense would have been kind of bad. So, but no, I don't care, man. Like listen, it's the same thing of like all these Canadians crying about how much they dominated the game and how much 3-on-3 sucks. Like you all signed up for this. Like
that's the thing. That's the most annoying part. So 4-on-4 was okay, like back in the day.
Or the fact that they won earlier in the tournament on 3-on-3 against
exactly wasn't a problem then. You didn't say anything about it after you won in 3-on-3. Like
and also sorry to cut you off, but also
no, you're fine.
You guys have McKinnon, McDavid, Makar as your number 1 3-on-3 line. Arguably, again, maybe the 3 best players in hockey. So like, miss me of all. I'm sorry that McDavid turned the puck over, Makar, went on for a 50-50 puck and missed, and Nathan McKinnon, who I'm going to say this right now is my rant. Nathan McKinnon, who everyone compares as like the Kobe Bryant of the NHL, only cares about winning, kind of seems like a massive like guy that you just wouldn't want to have fun around.
Yeah.
It made such a smile on my face that not only did he miss the wide open net in the third period, he also, game on the line, just gets freaking dog pounded by Zach Werenski off the puck like a little boy.
Yes, he does.
And then he lose the game. And you saw him hunched over like he's about to cry. I could freeze frame and take a photo of that.
I like seeing them get their little stuffed animals with their silver medals too. I mean, what a moment there. Marchand looks like he wants to rip the thing in half. So it was a great moment for USA hockey. I mean, Tage Thompson and the Buffalo connection there. Him, hoisting a gold medal. Like we have an Olympic medalist, gold medalist on the team, and they're going to get honored when they return to KeyBank Center, right next to Jack Eichel. And who was the other Vegas player?
No, Hanifin.
That's right.
I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you an eyeball question. Where does that rank in terms of plays made by teams we were cheering for in our lifetime? The goal.
Ooh.
I think it has to be up there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any Bills won, any Sabres won. No Sabres won in our lifetime. I mean, maybe in our lifetime, not in our viewing lifetime.
Maybe
I'll say that.
Scary good goal by Palmville, but that definitely not. Like that's what I'm saying.
What year was that? That was
06. I mean,
it was 06. We were 4 years old.
In our lifetime, that counts.
Yeah, we're 4 years old though. A viewing lifetime, I guess, because I wasn't watching hockey at 4.
The rules now. I mean, maybe the only things I could think of are the Michael Phelps, the 100 freestyle in 08.
I mean, that one resonates with me pretty good. Like
that one still might be one. Here comes Lazak. That might be one still. And then the only one I could maybe think of was the Taron Johnson pick 6 because that was such an iconic play.
Taron Johnson pick 6 is big.
But that's what I'm saying. Like no, this
has got to be it. It's got to be number 1.
It could be one. Like
it's on an international scale. Like it's big stage.
I mean, if you think about it, like, yeah, I mean, the U.S. women's team. I know they've won a couple World Cups in their lifetime, but they killed. I think it was Japan one, and another one was kind of a boring 2-0 win. Like, I don't think it would be that. Like, I mean, the women's hockey team actually could make a case that might be up there.
I mean,
we saw them play.
We did. That was good. I want to talk about that. We did see them against Canada play in the rivalry series.
A little different game.
Little bit different. But I mean, Megan Keller, like Haley Skamura, like it was cool.
Yeah, I don't like the Bills as much as I love them. Like they'd never won an AFC title in our lifetime or a Super Bowl.
There's not a lot of good moments to pull from that. I mean, why?
The Sabres mostly in our viewing history have not even been in the playoffs. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. This
is
very well could be one.
This is up there. I think it is one. And might be for a while. I mean, who knows, though? The Sabres, with the way they're trending right now.
The Bills get like a game-winning touchdown late in the Super Bowl. That will easily top this, but yeah.
Yeah. Sabres might get a crazy play, though, before the Bills do, especially if it's this season, because they're still rolling strong. And speaking of the Sabres...
Someone give you odds on what team would replace this. Sabres have to be the favorite, no?
I would say the Sabres are the favorite. Why?
I mean, the Bills just
some crazy sequence with Tage and Dome, like going in
playoffs,
and scoring a big goal.
Yeah.
Like I could see that happening well before the Bills do anything next season. That could happen now.
Yeah, I'm like even men's. I guess the men's soccer team could kind of be up there too because they're about to play in the World Cup. Like,
could be.
Who knows?
Yeah, the World Cup. That's right. What a year for international sports.
What a year for NBC.
I know. What a year for Mike Tirico. Did you hear Mike Tirico's closing statement, by the way?
Yeah, pretty cool.
That could feed families right there. Like that was something special. And you and I are big Tirico guys. We like Mike Tirico a lot. I mean,
he's good on NBC.
It's unfortunate he's stuck with Collinsworth, but I mean,
Collinsworth isn't as bad as once. Honest to God, he's gotten better.
He's not as bad as Tony Romo.
I'm not gonna lie, because we have Allen. He's kind of gotten better.
Yeah. And Tony Romo's gotten worse. So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where Tirico goes. I mean, the guy literally flew from the Super Bowl to Milan to do that stuff. Then he flew back. He's doing a keynote at Syracuse University. He's doing all this crazy stuff. So good on him. Olympic thought before we head into the Sabres. I know we're talking hockey. We're going to get into the Sabres. I mean, I'm more of a Summer Olympics guy, right?
Yeah.
Where do you stand on this? Like, I think the Summer Olympics definitely have more to offer. The combat sports, swimming, track and field, equestrian, like they have a lot more variety.
Did you just say equestrian?
Yeah.
Dude, there's no way you listen to summer sports and you listen to the...
It's on there.
It's on there. How watches equestrian?
I don't. On those old Olympic games on the Wii, I would just avoid equestrian at all costs. But I mean, you have the ball sports, you have soccer, you'll have flag football this year, polo, all that stuff, archery, fencing, golf is in there. Like, I don't know. I know the Winter Olympics are more niche, and of course, because you have to play the sports on snow or indoors on ice, whatever. Sure. But like, I watch hockey, and I like the skeleton, I like the luge, I like any of the bobsledding action.
It's amazing how fast they go.
Nah, it's a little scary going face first.
I wouldn't do that.
Barely scaring. I really got into curling this year. That really started piquing my interest.
I have some takes in. I have some takes right off.
Okay, so like, what summer versus winter, I guess, and then what do you think about the curling and Canada winning gold after cheating at the hog line?
I'll say this: the Summer Olympics is to me significantly better than the Winter Olympics.
Yes,
I just find them a lot more enjoyable, and there's a lot more sports that I like to watch. Like, I like watching the swimming. I like watching all the track and field, basketball. Heck, I mean, we're big golf guys, so I like the golf, tennis. Big tennis guy every year.
You are a big tennis guy, yeah. So, look at that.
Not even really competitively close. The Summer Olympics to me are a lot more. But the winter, like the only thing I actually do like watching the speed skating. I'm not gonna lie.
See, I like certain speed skating events. The one where they're just pushing each other on the short track relay. I'm like, what is this? This is just the tush push. This is the tush push relay. But like, I like the pursuit ones, the team pursuit. I like that one. My 3 Olympic takes are this: summer over winter. The best overall event is men's ice hockey. Yes. I do think now best on best. This was the best. Like, it's better than men's basketball. It's better than any swimming event or track event. Like, this was the best. Mm-hmm. Maybe like individual wise, like honestly, God, the men's 100-meter sprint is kind of sick. But team based, like men's ice hockey is number 1 and 3. I have no idea what everybody's obsession is with curling. You don't like it?
It sucks to watch. It sucks.
It doesn't really?
I'm sorry. It is boring. I can't get into it. Maybe it's because I never.
Will you watch golf?
Say again?
Do you watch golf?
Yeah.
It's got a similar cadence to the announcers, like just quiet, like, you know. There was even controversy this year, Dom. It wrote itself with cheating.
Man, 2 curlers going at it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, let it rip.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
You know what? They're actually starting a league in Toronto. We're going up for a match. You're coming with me.
Okay.
The Rock League in Toronto.
I'm just incredibly anti-curling.
I was thinking to myself, this last thing, just on curling before we get to the Sabres. I was like, do I like join USA Curling and try and become an Olympian in curling? Like,
you probably could because it's so easy. Like,
I don't know if it's easy. I'm not going to go and say that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding on that one.
I'm not going to say it's easy. It might take me 8 years, like, to get up there and beat these people and get the everything down. But like, I had half a thought, like, Do I enter
All right,
the portal?
if someone said in 4 years you have to participate in the next Olympics.
Olympic trial?
Yes. Now you could say Summer Olympics. I'll still give you 4 years because it's cheese because we're 2 years in or whatever. What sport would you choose if you had 4 years to get really good at a sport?
Well, I mean, one, I already have a good base in is swimming. I don't think I'd compete very well, but I mean, I could get into shape and try that out. You know what I mean? Maybe in a relay or something.
4 years, are you really going to make the Olympics your team?
No, it'd probably take me like 8. It'd take a grind.
8? You think it will take you any time, dude?
I don't know. I have a good base. I'm not trying to
infinite resources and time, so you don't have to worry about like money or effort, anything.
Oh, I think with my swimming background, I'd be able to get there at some point.
Seriously, oh my God.
If I had unlimited resources and unlimited time to train, unlimited food just made for me, I could.
That's a good point.
Like if I had really unlimited resources and I already have like the training logs and stuff of what I used to do, I think I could try. I'm not saying I'll do well or place. I think I might be able to make an attempt. Curling is one of those where I think I actually might be able to make the Olympic team if I had unlimited resources.
I'll say this. And this, you might disagree with me, but if you told me I had 4 years, I have unlimited resources and limited time, so I could hire the best people, I could every day do it, I think golf is the answer.
Yeah, I would actually agree with you on that.
I'm not saying I am terrible at golf, but I'm just saying if you spent 4 years golfing every single day and you have someone who's a coach who's training you and you work out the right ways to get like, I don't know. I feel like I feel like golf, you could maybe be decent enough to do it. Now, Grant, it's a little tough because we're American. I think you have to be one of the 4 best Americans to go in the Olympics, so that might be the dagger. But I don't know. I feel like golf could be.
I agree. I think that's up there too. I think golf and curling.
I can't even say baseball. I can't play baseball that well.
No.
I was gonna say maybe could I be a relief pitcher in baseball? And
I'll be a DH and just get walked. I'll just step into the pitch every time.
No. I'm not facing I'm not facing a.
That's when we were on the same little league team. That's all you used to do. You just used to turn your back and get mangled.
Drill. I have no idea why. Dude, that hurt, dude. Oh my God, it took the breath out of you.
Oh my God. Well, speaking of taking your breath away, the Sabres have been doing that for a little while now, and they're getting back to action as we speak. Actually, in the next 15 minutes, you're going to see this the next day. But we're going to take a quick time out. We'll be right back with some Sabres chatter on the other side. You're listening to the Buffalonian Podcast. Listening and watching, by the way. I didn't make that point. You might be watching on YouTube or whatever, too. So, I had to appease everybody. We're back with the Buffalonian Podcast. Did a little bit of Olympic chat in the first segment. We now move on to Sabres hockey. They're back. And I've never been jonesing for Sabres hockey in my life, I don't think.
Weird feeling.
What? It's weird to be excited about them? Yes. I remember feeling excited about them, Lindy Ruff's first season when they were in Prague. You came over to watch the game.
Okay.
We watched them completely fall apart, and that was that. And I don't think I put another game on the TV after that. I think that was the one and only I watched televised.
That was a rough start of it.
This year, on the other hand, Kevin Adams' last 3 games as GM, they win. Then they win 7 through Jarmo's first 7 games. Kekalainen. And then they're in the most winningest streak of Sabres hockey in team history. And then they hit the Olympic break, smashing into a brick wall against Pittsburgh in, just kind of a dud of a game. But, I mean, the break was welcome. So they're playing in New Jersey tonight. Tage Thompson was back. So, he made the travel back after being hung over at the State of the Union address. So he's alive and well back in New Jersey. It'll be interesting to see how many minutes he gets if he's all in right away, because he has been skating pretty much the entire break. Or they, I don't know what they'll do there. Maybe rest him a little bit. But what do you think of the Sabres, Dom, this season? We've gone through our little break here, and now we're kind of back. And it's like you said, it's weird. Looking forward to games, actually having an inkling the Sabres play tonight. I'm going to turn on the TV and watch. Or, hey, what are you doing? Let's go to the arena tonight. That's back. That hasn't been a thing. And there's traffic downtown for anything other than a Bandits game, and not even for those because they're falling through the cracks. Like, what do you think of the Sabres? Like, how do you feel about them right now?
I am just surprised, and I'm enjoying the journey. Right, we have 25 games left in the year.
Mm-hmm.
They're in really good position to make the playoffs. Like, this sucks to say because it sounds mean, but like the Sidney Crosby injury for Canada not only helped the U.S., but also kind of helped the Sabres because, I think the Penguins are tied with them, have a game in hand, but they're second in the Metro. So if they fall off, if the Penguins fall off, like you don't have to worry about like the fourth Metro team coming and catching them.
Yeah,
potentially. So yeah, I mean, they're in a great spot. Good to have Tage back. Obviously, not having Benson, Kulik still up in the air, Norris. It's a little frustrating, I would say, just because you thought maybe with the 2 weeks off that those guys would be ready. Actually, more than 2 weeks. What am I talking about? Right?
yeah, it's like almost a month, like 3 weeks.
So.
Yeah, at least you get Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen back. That's
true. No, that's a big help. So you're just kind of hope. I mean, their record without Benson is not pretty. So you're just kind of hoping and praying that they, can survive this stretch.
Can you believe he's the difference maker? Like, when he's not in the lineup, it's bad news. Like,
yeah, it's a little weird.
It's a weird guy for that to be, but he's a little. He's a carny too. Do you know that about him?
No.
His family owned a carnival, and he would work it and then go to hockey practice. That explains his scrappy attitude. That's for sure.
That's an interesting fun fact.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's one of the better forwards on the team. Obviously, has a really good two-way game. Seems to work well with all Tage and a bunch of those lines. So it sucks having him not there. Obviously, Norris. Obviously, we're closing in now on the trade deadline, right? And so I'm interested to see what happens. Who do they add?
Yeah.
It seems like the Tuck situation is just going to be.
He's your rental.
You're a rental. We're not going to make a trade for a forward, maybe potentially, which would kind of suck. But yeah, I'm just taking this one step at a time. Grateful for the opportunity to have actual interesting hockey for this time, almost in our lives, pretty much. At least in our viewership wise as fans. So
yeah,
but obviously there's work to do, and I'm hopeful that the sour taste in their mouth from Pittsburgh kind of travels over against Pittsburgh, I should say.
I mean, that's what they said. Every post-game interview mentioned that, hey, we might have needed that going into the break. So,
so I hope it's a good thing, and I hope we start off well. New Jersey is about a 500 team. They haven't had the season they want. This is a team that you should be able to pick 2 points up on the
road. Hughes right away
before you go to Florida and Tampa. Right, you take the Sunshine trip. Which Florida again kind of banged up, not having the season they want, but Tampa's a juggernaut. So, hopefully maybe they can get 2 out of 3 here, right?
I feel like Tampa's just the Chiefs this season. Like they're far out. They might not make the playoffs, right? But it's,
Florida,
Florida.
No, sorry, I thought you said Tampa.
No, Florida. Maybe I said Tampa. Sorry. They're Chiefsy right now. The way
they've had so many injuries,
yeah, and it's just they're not out of it. Until they're out of, you can't count them out kind of a thing. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. We'll have more Sabres stuff to talk about actually when they're back in action. They haven't done anything in multiple weeks. So I'm excited. I'm ready for this is one Sabres thing. I'm holding my grip trainer here for my golf club, but one Sabres thing here before we move on to the Bills and all their changes. Vegas, first night back in the arena. How are you doing that? Because you got to honor the Team USA gold medalists, right? Can't just put Tage out there.
He's clearly Jack Eichel's going to get cheered. Have some respect.
That's what I'm saying. You can't boo. We can't boo.
You can boo him when he touches the puck in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But in the pregame, no.
Even that, are we done with that?
No.
No?
No.
We don't even do that for Stephon Diggs.
I'll tell you this right now. They asked us in work the other day, would you rather have an Austin Matthews card or a Jack Eichel card? And I said Austin Matthews.
Did you really? The guy who
100%.
completely disappears when it matters most.
Yeah, he had a point in the gold medal game.
Oh my God, he had a point on the other side of the ice.
He was not good.
He was not good.
No one's like, okay, come on, dude. I gotta say the Kachucks, man, they have some good PR because they played terrible in that game.
They did, and they're on the getting interviews, everything. So it's just I guess it's more about the tournament than just the one game, But so. That was my thought on the Sabres. How do they do that? I think the Tage shield will also help, right? You've got the Tage bubble when they're in the same.
I like that.
Yeah, they're in there with them at center ice. So I'm excited for that. That'll be a good game. They've got a good stretch here. So we'll see how they get started in New Jersey. We'll have more updates as we go. On to the Buffalo Bills, because since we have last recorded a podcast, they lost in the divisional round. They fired their head coach. They hired their offensive coordinator as their head coach. They promoted the general manager. So a lot's going on, and we're going to recap all of it on the other side. You're still listening to the Buffalonian podcast and watching. Welcome back to the Buffalonian podcast. We're on to the Buffalo Bills, hoping that leading with hockey and then moving to the Sabres keeps the good juju up, because it's been going well since we started doing that. But the Bills, as mentioned before the break, a lot is different. And I think you and I had talked on multiple occasions, like, what scenario would you be okay with at the end of the season, right? Keeping Sean McDermott, firing Brandon Beane, firing both. We're fine with that. What we weren't fine with was keeping Brandon Beane and firing Sean McDermott. And what did they go with?
And promoting Brandon Beane.
And promoting him, yes. Option D, just none of the above, and just went even harder at that. And then we're like, oh, head coach-wise, like we were chit-chatting on the phone the one night on an Xbox party. We were like, I don't think it's Joe Brady. Might be Udinski. Joe Brady definitely doesn't stay with the Bills. Like, he's going to go get a job somewhere else. Joe Brady, head coach of the Buffalo Bills. So pretty much everything we thought was going to happen and wanted to happen did not happen, but we're here. We're here. Can't change anything about it. We are here. Joe Brady's the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Beane is the general manager and the president of football operations. And the staff has come together in its entirety. Jim Leonard, the new defensive coordinator for the Bills, and a plethora of other names in there. Special teams coordinator, offensive coordinator, Pete Carmichael Jr., figurehead, going to help Joe Brady out when he can, kind of a thing. But Brady, his offense is his offense still. So how are you feeling? I guess I don't really know where to go from there, because just broke it all down. A lot's gone on. I guess dump it on us. What were you feeling like all that was going on? Because I have a few thoughts, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think first you want to say thank you to Sean McDermott for his time, right?
Yeah, it took the Bills 2 weeks to do that, right?
Yeah, it took them a little too long to do that.
He did an admirable job, by the way. Just in case.
I'll say this. I obviously did not like what was happening when it was all going down, right? I didn't like that McDermott was fired. I felt like McDermott was blaming everything. It still kind of feels a little bit that way, like when they talk about getting secure the ball more on the combine.
Yeah, they're acting.
It still feels a little bit like
scapegoaty.
A little scapegoatish, or getting promoted, right? I'll say this about the Joe Brady hire. He was not my first choice, right? We were big Udinski guys. However, I was not so much in I would say the majority of people that probably would have been like, this is a 3 out of 10 hire. Like, immediately I was like, this is a 6 out of 10 hire,
mm-hmm.
right? Like, if we talked about, if Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator of the LA Rams, right? Or just a different team than the Buffalo Bills, and he got hired, we'd have a lot of
the next
opinions.
young gun McVay or Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
We'd be talking about him like that.
And we also have, I think, a guy that Josh has been really good the last 2 years, efficiency-wise, some of the best years of Josh's career, right? And I also think you look at it as he has the pre-existing relationship with Josh, but somehow I think it's held against him now. I'm confused by that aspect, Joe, because everybody was clamoring for Dable, but then it's like
with
a
past
big
relationship
positive about Dable is that he has relationships with these guys, the front office and Josh. And so then when we hire Brady, it's like, actually it's a negative now. That to me never made a lot of sense.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm okay with Joe Brady right now, after the staff and everything like that. I'm willing to see where this goes.
That's my point I was making too, was I was a 6 out of 10 because I was like, I like Joe Brady more than most, because I don't mind the screens.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think they get a little annoying? Sure, but I also think people think Joe Brady only calls the screens, and that's the only thing I don't think people sometimes function in the fact of multiple play calls happen in the huddle. Multiple plays get called in one huddle.
Sure.
And the quarterback can pick which one to
Yeah,
run.
Josh options to those, sure.
And Josh, I think, has a ton of freedom at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not
More
trying to
than
put
people
blame
wanna
onto
say.
Josh, but like, and it's also not we're one of the more effective teams on screens last year, so it's not like they're not effective while using them either. So I will say this: I am now up to 7 out of 10 because the Jim Leonard hire, in my opinion, was a complete home run. It's exactly what you needed. Like if you were, I just think the Bills did exactly what they needed to do on their main coordinators. Like Jeff Rogers, the special teams guy, has a lot of experience. Fine, didn't have a great year in Arizona last year, but previous years, punter was a Pro Bowler. They've had Pro Bowl returners. Like the kicker's been kick game's been solid too. Offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael has just been around the block. Was the guy
Super Bowl winner, Sean Payton.
Plays, you need a guy like that, a veteran offensive coordinator who is comfortable in his role of he's not the play caller, but he can get the offense ready to go. And finally, Jim Leonard, just a stud young defensive coordinator who everyone thinks could be a head coach one day, which would kind of suck if he's a head coach next year, but that means he would have done a really good job this year. So I'm excited for that change, right? Because we've always said that McDermott didn't get enough credit for raising the floor of this defense. That's very true. However, I don't think McDermott did a good enough job in the playoffs of raising the ceiling of the defense. I think they kept hitting their heads. I think the archetypes they have at edge really hamper them. Linebacker, I just think some of these archetypes they have of we're never going to have a 250-pound edge rusher because we need a big edge to set the edge in the run game. We're never going to have these pass rush specialists, right? I know Hoyt was kind of becoming that, but I am just very excited for this defense. Turns out it's a different defense, a 3-4, but it's not always going to be a 3-4. They're going to be multiple. They're still have four. I'm not that concerned about everyone on the roster. How would they fit in? The coaches with the players they have will build the scheme. I'm excited to see what they do in free agency. I'm really excited about it, and I'm not super excited about the draft. I think the draft's a little weaker this year, but I'm super excited for what they do. They're probably going to have $30 to $40 million in free agency, and they have a lot of holes.
So they're going to have to do something. So they're going to have to be active, which I think is exciting. Like you're alluding, expect something, and it's. I know that's tough to say because free agent additions and Josh Palmer, Elijah Moore, they've been a little lackluster over the last couple of years. I'm not going to lie, but I think they know where they have to go and what they have to fill. So I'm rooting for that. I'm with you though. The hires really helped me out in being okay with what happened. And I agree with the ceiling thing. You saw his defense work against Jacksonville, and then I get it. The offense turned it over 5 times, but it's still 30 points at the end of the day, right? And you can't give that up in a playoff game and expect to win. And I know my least favorite argument ever is, you scored 30, you should have won. That, come on, 30 should have been enough. I can't do the should have been enough argument. I think you just should play the game and win by whatever means necessary, not go in with a number in your mind 30 should be enough, that's I don't know. That's a little soapboxy of me to get up there and say something like that. But I really didn't want Brady. I did not. And I'm very, very open and honest about that, whether that be on social media or just with you guys. I did not want him. And I didn't want anybody with a Josh Allen relationship. I didn't. I didn't like the sound of Dable strictly because of that. I didn't like Joe Brady because of that. I wanted somebody fresh, somebody new in a Udinsky or something like that, right? Even at Davis Webb, it was scary a little bit because he's Josh's best friend, right? So that gave you a little bit of a shiver down your spine. But Joe Brady's press conferences, what he's said, I feel better where I'm at now, and I know we're not getting any actual material. We're not going to for a while. We're not going to see what's going to happen necessarily until after the draft for training camp and all that stuff. But I'm willing. I'm open minded. I'm giving it a chance, no matter how I felt with it before.
Nice.
And we've said, what can we do about it now? Like you said, I feel better with the hires because Jim Leonard is a home run. I really like that a lot, and I think he's put a good staff together with Pete Carmichael Jr. too, and he's Sean Payton's right hand man for multiple decades at that point. So it's It's an exciting moment to be a Bills fan. The combine is underway. So we're going to, the interview portion, I guess. So we heard from Joe Brady and Brandon Beane. Hearing about Brandon Beane being too aggressive and people pulling him back, that's a conversation for another day, I guess. We'll get into that. We have plenty of offseason talk for the Bills, but the combine is getting underway. So we're going to see some of these young receivers kind of show up, show out, and get out there, get the job done, hopefully do well, see some good defensive players out there, linebackers. The Bills need a lot. So we're going to go through all of that and more throughout the offseason. But thank you for tuning in to this edition once again of the Buffalonian podcast. We're back for the long haul here. The Sabres are good, so we're not taking that usual hiatus we would maybe towards the summer, but had some personal things, new jobs, all that to work through. So appreciate you coming back in and listening, and we're going to be on a once-a-week regular schedule from here on out. So without further ado, for Dom Loss, I'm Joe Cali. You've been listening to the Buffalonian podcast. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good one, everyone.